Hey, what's up, people? Zachary Akins here. So I've been studying for the ACSM Certified Personal Trainer test for quite a while. Uh, I was attending PCC in the exercise science program, and the ACSM material is what they base the curriculum off of. I took a lot of anatomy, physiology, weight training, a bunch of classes in there. Uh, that gave me a pretty good base foundation of knowledge. And pretty much my whole life, I've studied nutrition. I've been really interested in anatomy and physiology. I've been a triathlete for many years, and I was a different kind of athlete before then. So I got a little bit of experience under my belt and a little bit of knowledge. But finally bought the material for American College of Sports Medicine, and so what I'm gonna do now is I looked on YouTube for like coverage of certain sections of the material, and I couldn't really find any. So what I'm gonna do is each chapter I read, I obviously am taking notes and highlighting stuff. So I'm gonna go through my notes on each chapter and try to teach the nobody who watches this some stuff, but really it's all to pretty much just help me get it down. Because when I read something with the intention of teaching it to somebody else, I pay a little bit more attention and go a little bit more in depth. So I read a couple chapters with the ACSM. It's the fifth edition of resources for the personal trainer. The ACSM pretty much textbook. Um, so chapter one, it's called the importance of the field of personal training, and pretty much it goes over statistics of like obesity and childhood obesity and stuff in our country. And yeah, so I guess I'll just get started. Personal training, it's a growing career. It's obviously becoming more popular amongst people, um, especially with like the baby boomers are a very large population, and that's the first generation that grew up exercising, and they're about in their like 70s now, around there, and the life expectancy for those people has increased, and they're more likely to be active. So with the field of personal training from 2014 to 2024, it's expected to grow a lot more than most other industries. Um, it's going to grow about 10%. Um, Baby boomers are a large population, like I just said. There's about 78 million Americans in their 70s. Um, So, reliance on technology has made people a lot more sedentary, increasing the need and importance uh, of the personal trainer. So, as our reliance on technology and working from home and using computers and stuff strengthens and grows, so does our sedentary lifestyle. And then we come home, we're stressed out from all our work and stuff, and then we don't exercise too much. We're a pretty lazy nation. So, the importance of personal training and health and fitness is exponentially growing. So a little bit of fitness industry stats. There's about 36,000, probably more. This book was written a few years ago. There's probably about 37,000 health clubs in the U.S., about 56 million club members. There's about $26 billion in revenue for 2015, which is the last year that, before this book was written, the last year that there were stats available. California, Texas, Florida, and New York, and Illinois have the most fitness clubs. There's a 22% increase in members since 2009 across the U.S. fitness clubs. There is around about 280, 290, probably a bit more now, 280,000 personal trainers in the U.S. But despite the numbers, only about 15% of the population has a membership to a fitness club, and only about 1 in 5 adults meet activity requirements. And about 3 to 10 high school students get 60 minutes of activity every day, which is not much. That's 30%. That's really, really low. We're doing a really bad job in that area. Um, And schools continue to cut physical education because of money. They continue to cut really important programs for our kids. It started when I was younger. Actually, when I was in high school, PE was pretty much non-existent. Um, and when I was younger, that's when I started kind of noticing cuts to the physical education programs in my elementary schools, middle schools, and stuff. Um, so it's definitely happening. Cuts are definitely happening, and in my opinion, the last thing that we need to be cutting is physical education for our children. Uh, there's only about 6 states that require schools to follow the nationally recommended 150 minutes of exercise every week. So 6 states out of 50 states. That's crazy. Only about 16% of states require elementary schools to provide recess. For middle and only 16% of states require elementary schools to provide recess. That's pretty crazy, especially knowing how hyper my kids are. If I don't get them out, they drive me crazy and I get really damn close to murder. For middle and high school, only 3 states require the recommended 225 minutes per week of physical activity. That's crazy. No wonder we have a lot of mental health. No wonder we have a lot of ADHD. No wonder we have a lot of problems. No wonder we have childhood obesity blowing up. So childhood obesity these days is actually a really significant health concern in the US, and it's actually even greater than the concerns of drug abuse and smoking. And I would definitely have to agree that physical education and childhood obesity is definitely very, very, very important. I have some highlights throughout my book that I'm gonna try to kind of nail down. So personal trainer is pretty straightforward what a personal trainer does. It works with a healthy, not healthy population, but people who are able to exercise. So personal trainers pretty much educate people on how to exercise, motivate them. Motivation is a huge thing for a personal trainer. Right here in the book, it says the certified personal trainer facilitates motivation and adherence as well as develops and administers programs. I think one of the most important things for a personal trainer to do is motivate their client, because that's where most people really lack in that area. So one thing that a lot of people really mix up is a personal trainer is not a nutritionist. They do not have the best knowledge about nutrition. The nutrition understanding with a personal trainer is actually very, very undefined. And it's not in the scope of practice for a personal trainer to give you a meal plan. If a personal trainer gives you a meal plan and they don't have any other certification, drop that personal trainer right away and go find somebody else, because they don't know what they're talking about. I mean, they might know what they're talking about. I'm not going to get into that. Just the certified personal trainer scope of practice does not include meal planning or diagnosing injuries or other medical conditions, nor can personal trainers work with individuals who cannot currently exercise independently. So people with physical limitations or modalities. Pretty much what a personal trainer does. I'm going to go over some pretty basic things. Screens and interviews potential clients to determine their readiness and for exercise and physical activity. And they also communicate with their healthcare team. Now, their healthcare team is where they might have a dietitian or nutritionist or a doctor or something that personal trainers are really highly recommended to be in communication with, because they have a lot of information that may be very valuable for the personal trainer about their client. Another thing that personal trainers do is perform fitness tests and help clients set realistic goals, develop exercise regimens and programs, demonstrate and instruct specific techniques. This is really important because a lot of people aren't going to know how to do exercises. So the personal trainer has to have experience, and they have to know how to do stuff properly in order to show their client how to do it. supervise and spot clients. That's pretty important too. Maintain records of clients' progress or lack thereof. That's really important in the motivational aspect too, because when somebody notices that you're taking note of their progression, it's going to kind of subconsciously push them to progress a little bit more than if not. If you're not keeping statistics and you're not noticing their progress, they're going to be a lot less compelled to progress. So that's pretty important. Another thing. So there's a lot of specialty certifications within ACSM, such as Certified Inclusive Personal Trainer, Cancer Exercise Trainer, Exercises Medicine, and for all those you need a degree. I kind of fucked up my college education for many factors. I owe the school a lot of money, so I can't go back and get a degree until somehow I make a lot of money and pay them back about $20,000. So that's kind of off the table for me right now. What is on the table is Certified Personal Trainer, which is what I'm doing right now, because all you need is a high school diploma, and you need a CPR and AED certification from the first aid. From Red Cross. I don't even know if you need AED. It's just CPR certification and practical skills component. And that's actually really, really fun. I loved getting certified as a like first responder. I guess that's not really technically what it is, but as CPR first aid person, it was really, really fun. I loved that class. It was intertwined in my exercise science classes at PCC. I absolutely loved it. We practiced really in depth on mannequins in teams and stuff, and it's very, very useful. I recommend everybody go and get a CPR, AED, and first aid certification, even if you're not gonna take a career in the health and fitness industry. There's also like a clinical track that in ACSM that you could go, clinical exercise physiologist, but you need a lot of things, a lot of certifications like a bachelor's degree in exercise science based field, 400 hours from accredited university curriculum program. You need a lot of requirements. For the CPT thing, like I said, you only need to be 18, high school diploma, CPR. So one thing about becoming a personal trainer, there's a lot of programs out there that you can choose from. And it's very important to choose an NCCA accredited program, such as, I recommend ACSM because all the other things are lacking in many areas, and ACSM is actually like the industry standard, industry leader in personal training. So other ones that are decent is like ACE, NASM, pretty much ACE. It goes ACE is third, NASM is second, and ACSM is first, pretty much. But it needs to be NCCA accredited program, and also, let me flip the page here, and I am going to. So with experiential background for a personal trainer, most personal trainers get into this because of the result of a positive experience that they had through a personal training session. So the reason I'm getting into this is, first of all, because I went through a lot of drug addiction, alcoholism, and stuff, and what I found out is that helping other people is a very powerful thing. So I got into athletics as a really young kid. I've had a lot of positive experiences, but really what compelled me to get into wanting to be a personal trainer is just the satisfaction that comes with helping other people. So it's really important that you have a personal trainer who does have some experience, has a background, has been through some stuff. It's a little bit less advised to go and find somebody who's never really been in a sport, never been an athlete, never been a professional athlete, doesn't have a degree, stuff like that. It's good to find somebody with a background. So there's a lot of things I could go over, like the different aspects of all the certifications. But what's really important, man, is is if you're studying for this test, it's really important that you just go through each chapter and write stuff down, talk with somebody, um, go over all of the aspects about being a personal trainer. Something that I really want to nail down before I get off here is there's a section in here called developing your toolkit. I think the absolutely most important thing for a personal trainer to do is effective communication, whether that be through motivation, just communicating your efforts to the client. Communication is probably the most important aspect in all of life, actually. The way you communicate with other people determines a lot about you, determines a lot about their reaction, how they take things that you say. And it's really, really important to be able to motivate your client. If you don't have a motivated client, they're not going to come follow up. If they're not liking what they're doing, they're not going to continue to do it. So it's really important for you to understand that communication is key, motivation is key, and in order to apply your knowledge, you have to have clients to apply that knowledge to. In order to have clients, you have to have good communication and effective motivation skills. One last thing that I kind of want to go over is so like continuing education credits. You need continuing education credits for each certifications. Each different agency certification, you need different continuing education credits, or CECs or CEUs, continuing education units. For ACSM, you need 45 every 3 years. It's really important for you to just kind of jump on it and just get the ball rolling from the get-go, because you don't want to be cramming all those 45 credits in at the last minute and being stressed, which is what a lot of people do, is procrastinate. Procrastination is a horrible habit to get into. So yeah, continuing education credits, so such as like anatomy, physiology, taking classes. It's important for you to check with your agency on what is accepted as CECs. And also, I mean, I guess pretty much everything in here is pretty dang straightforward. Goes over a lot of things that the personal trainer can work for, like for-profit agencies, not-for-profit agencies, medical fitness centers, corporate agencies. Something to kind of be mindful about now is that corporations are seeing the benefit that personal trainers bring to their corporation and company, because health is paramount. You don't have healthy employees, you're not going to have a healthy workforce, you're not going to be productive, your products aren't going to get made, your clients aren't going to get taken care of, your people are going to be out sick all the time, you're going to be spending a lot of money through like benefits and healthcare and stuff. So corporations are seeing that, and they're seeing the how important it is to invest in preventative healthcare. So there's a lot of things like in Portland, Oregon, where I'm at right now. There's a place called Y East Wolfpack, and they do a lot of corporate gigs. From what I see, they have corporate accounts, and what that is mostly is the most popular thing that you're gonna see is corporate group fitness classes. So that's something to definitely be able to be mindful about, is approaching businesses and saying what you have to offer, why what you have to offer is important, and how you can go about that. And instead of like individuals paying you, it's going to be a corporation. So they're going to have a bigger budget. You would be able to charge more for your activities, and you'd be able to help a lot more people in the process. So with group training, ACSM does have a group training certification. I was in a PCC class for that, and I fucking hated it. I'm not a too much of a group training people person type of thing. I'm more of a one-on-one person, learning your goals and helping you achieve them through whatever means necessary. I'm not that type of person to be up and fucking leading a class and doing fucking jumping jacks and shit. So that ain't for me, but it could be for you, and it's probably actually going to have to be for me, because that's where you would gain a lot of potential income. So ethics and professional conduct for ACSM, pretty much it boils down to act like a professional, treat yourself like a professional, treat your clients like clients, don't hit on your fucking clients, don't be a dickhead, don't do stupid shit, pretty much. Kind of summarizing that all up, thinking that you have common sense. Uh, so, yeah, pretty much. So the ACSM is the leading industry standard. It was founded in 1954. It was the first professional organization to begin offering health and fitness certifications in 1975, and it continues to deliver the most respected NCCA accredited certifications within the health and fitness industry. It has ACSM has evolved into the unique position of an industry leader, creating evidence-based best practices. So pretty much what that says is if you're going to go for personal trainer certification, ACSM is where it's at, for many, many reasons. And I also believe so too. It's always important for you to just revise your knowledge and keep learning. At the end of the chapter, ACSM gives a table about content areas and the percentage that content area plays on the test. So, like back here, it says 26% of the test is going to be based on initial client consultation and assessment. And then 27%, 20% in all other areas, like 20% in the legal, professional, and business and marketing area. So it's very important that you have a general idea of all the concepts within all the chapters. It's important that you talk them over, study. Don't just jump right into it, waste like $400 on a test, and then have to go back and retest. There's a lot of books for ACSM. What I did is I got the Resources for the Personal Trainer, 5th edition. It was like $80 or something. I got the certification review, which is really important. It has a lot of case studies in here. It has a lot of scenarios of like, this is the client, this is their goals, this is their abilities, this is what they want to accomplish. How are you going to accomplish it? So it's really practical information in here, and it allows you to apply your knowledge and answer questions, and it has answer keys so you can really test yourself. Another one that's not too really important, but I got it anyways, is Guidelines for Exercise Testing and Prescription. This is more so a reference book, I believe. I'm not gonna read this shit, and I mean, it's definitely not really important right off the bat, but it's definitely gonna be a great tool once you're a certified personal trainer to be able to reference this book and have this book available if needed. And all this material, I went with ACSM first of all because it's a leading standard. Second of all, because the material was affordable. Third, because the test was affordable. Everything else, like NASM for all that shit, it's like $1,500. I spent $200 on all the material, and the test is $300. And you can take it whenever you want. And I also got the Prep U Academy, which is an online resource, which is a lot of tests. You can tailor your tests and everything. I highly recommend that. It has definitely been helpful to show that I don't know shit. And if I were to take the test right now, I would utterly fail. So I suggest all that. Thank you for watching. This is ACSM, or American College of Sports Medicine Certified Personal Trainer Information, Chapter 1, 5th edition. 2020. We're on motherfucking coronavirus lockdown, so I will definitely be having like at least a few more chapters this week covered, and I hope you enjoy. If there's anything that I didn't cover or any comments, yeah, just leave a comment in the comment section. If you stayed for 24 minutes of this motherfucking video, congratulations. Yeah, I will see you. Study hard, be awesome, and piss excellence.